Okay, I would like to create some projectiles. So little bullets that come out from the end of the player's gun. So first of all, I'm going to create an empty and call it bullet. Call it yeah, let's call it bullet. Make sure it's 0, 0, 0, and I'm going to go into my props folder that I created, and I'm going to immediately create a prefab, and I'm going to open up the prefab, and I'm going to this bullet I'm going to add 3D object. It's going to be a cylinder. Let's call it bullet geo. We'll rotate it 90 degrees. I want to go back in here, see how big it is. Oh, that's huge. Make it, let's see what 0.05 looks like. So I have to remember Z is in the forward, and so the Z, I want it to be like that. Oh, I scaled the wrong thing. This has to be 1. The geo has to be 0.05, and then the Z and the Z. Oops. I guess with the geo I'm scaling the Y, but forward is still Z, so it's the parent that's going to be moving. So back in here, that's way too long, so this actually has to be a lot smaller still, so 0.01, and then the Y I'll do like that. Let's see what that looks like. Still very big and long. I think the thickness is okay because I want it to be visible. It's going to be pretty small, so the thickness I'm okay with. The length of it can be shorter, so let's just say 0.3. Where are we? There it is. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a machine gun, so it's going to be firing a whole bunch. This should be okay. You know what? I'm going to make it even smaller. I want to go 0.005, and the length is going to be 0.2. Should be a bit better. Some materials. I want to create a material, and I'm going to call it bullet. It needs an emission. emission. The color is going to be a yellowish color. Emission. I don't want any shininess. Emission can be the lighter, I think. So I'm going to select the prefab again, select the geo, and I want to turn off the capsule collider, mesh renderer, material, oh, here it is, okay, material, drag and drop this material, and I don't know why it's not updating. Oh, there it is, okay. So I turned off this capsule collider, and I'm going to create another capsule collider on the parent, because this is where the script's going to be, and it's going to do some, it's going to trigger damage on the enemy, so it has to be in the z-axis. Radius is going to be much smaller. I'll just eyeball everything. I think that looks pretty good. So it's just wrapped around, and it's going to be a trigger. And I need to go into scripts. I need to create a script, call it bullet. So I'm going to open that up. So right away, I'm going to do transform dot translate vector 3 dot forward times time dot delta time. Oops. Multiplied by, I'll say 20 for now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, that's too slow or too fast. Time dot delta time. So that's constantly going forward in the z direction. Do start coroutine destroy game object. Basically what I'm going to do is the bullet can't be going forwards indefinitely. So after maybe 5 seconds, it's going to destroy itself. Destroy game. So if it doesn't hit anything, if it hits something, it'll destroy itself. If it doesn't hit anything, it'll destroy itself after 5 seconds. Reload. Return new. Wait for 4 seconds. Let's just say, I think 5 is pretty reasonable. It's going to be, I want it moving pretty fast, so it's going to be destroy game object. So I want to make public void on trigger enter collider other. So all I'm going to do is I'll just grab if other game, let's copy and paste this. Oh, sorry, wrong one. The other, if it collides with an enemy, if the capsule collider collides with an object with the tag enemy, then on the enemy troops, it is going to play I'll say take hit. Let's call it that for now. So it's going to trigger whatever's going to happen inside of here. So I haven't added anything yet. So right now it's just triggering this empty void. And I need to destroy the game object. So I'll just compile that. Okay, after that's compiled, I'll go back into editor once it lets me. Okay, there we go. Oh. Select the bullet, drag and drop the bullet into the inspector. Now I'm going to go back into, I'm going to open up the player prefab, and I'm going to temporarily get the aiming idle, because I'm going to use it as a reference point. Well, I can't really tell. There's no gun there, so I can't see how far the gun is, but I need to create a bullet instantiate point, and I'll just pull, I'm going to assume, actually I'll just get a gun, make it easy for myself. right there. Instantiate point is going to be here, but the gun is, because of his hand, it's slightly offset. Bullet instantiate. Right now it's right in the center. It's at 0x. I'm not sure if I should move it here. I'll just leave it in the center for now, and I'll adjust it if it doesn't look very good. So the gun and this I can get rid of. In the main character script, I am going to create some variables. Public game object bullet instantiate point public game object bullet public bool is firing public float bullet. I don't need that actually, but I need a bullet speed. Public float time between shots. I'll say 0.2 seconds. Private float shot counter. So this is the variable that's going to be counting down, and every time it reaches 0 or less, then it gets set to time between shots, which is 0.2. So it gets set to 0.2, and then it starts counting down again. So I'm going to put that in the update. I'll script this in the update. So if is firing equals true, shot counter minus equals time dot delta time if shot counter smaller or equal to 0, then shot counter is set back to time between shots. And I also need to instantiate the bullet, so instantiate bullet from the bullet instantiating point transform dot position and the rotation. So the only thing I need to do now is set the is firing true or false. If aiming is false, is firing is false, and if aiming is true, is firing is true. So I'm going to refine this later. Right now it's just firing whenever the player is pressing the button, the left mouse button while the gun is equipped. So I'm just going to go compile everything, and then I'm going to have have to drop some stuff into fields. It's taking a while. Okay, so with the main character selected, it's going to ask me for bullet instantiate point, and the bullet over here, but I'm not sure if I can add prefabs, but I'm going to try anyways and see what that does. So if I go back in here, I can get rid of this bullet. I'm going to hit play. Okay, it is firing, but it's firing even though I don't have the gun equipped. So let's see if I have a gun equipped boolean. Is a gun I'm going to have to create a boolean called gun I can just use equip number. So equip number if a gun equip number is 1, so I can go back to where I had, okay, so firing, if equip number equals 1, and same thing for here. So this only applies, this bit of code only applies if gun is equipped. So if I hit play, if I press the left mouse button, it does nothing. But if I equip the gun and aim, then it shoots, which is beautiful. I definitely do think I need to put that actually I won't worry about that now. I was going to adjust the position of the instantiate point, but looks fine. The only thing that I have to make sure of is actually before I do anything else, I'm going to go into the enemy materials folder, and I'm going to create a material called enemy hit material. Make it orange. maybe like a reddish orange. And this is going to be maybe reddish orange as well. Bump it up a bit. Turn down smoothness because I don't want specularity. So I'm going to go into the enemy script and I'm going to create two variables, public material original matte, public material hit matte. So whenever it gets hit by the bullet, so whenever the bullet collides, it triggers this void. Get components renderer dot material equals hit matte. I'll do start chord key, start chord key. I'll call it original material. Actually, I don't think I need. Oh wait. And outside of that, I'll do enumerator original material yield return new. Wait 4 seconds. I'll say 0.1f. It goes back to original material. So I'm going to compile that. So in the enemy prefab, where am I? Enemy prefab. It's asking me for two materials. So the original material renderer. Doesn't have a material. Oh, the body material. So enemy matte. Need to create a geo. Click game object geo. Geo.getComponent. So in this field here, let's drag and drop the geo, the original material, as well as the hit material. So I'm manipulating the color of the body, and by default, in the renderer, which is this renderer that I'm referencing. Whoops. I'm manipulating this. So if I hit play, if I equip gun, there we go. That hits. It is working, but his capsule collider is so thin that I have to be super precise. Okay, that's good for now. Another thing that I need to fix is in the over here under the update in the main character script, it says if aiming is true, then it does this aiming. It triggers the aiming function, which makes the character rotate based on wherever the mouse cursor is. Is aiming. I also need to add equip number is 1. So if I compile that, if I hit play, if I hit the left mouse button, he shouldn't rotate, which is good. So I'm pressing it right now, nothing's happening. But if I equip the gun, then that looks that's working a bit better. So what I gotta do now is I gotta do the exact same thing for the enemy. So for the enemy, I'm going to make it so that well, first I'll do the script. So let's copy and paste what I have from the player, and I'll just plunk it in here. And those are the variables. Then I gotta get the shot counter. Put that in the update function. I think that's all I have to do. In the bullet, if the bullet is a player, because I'm going to use the exact same bullet, then do take it, put it at the bottom of the player script, and I'll grab the variables as well. Okay, I think that's everything. I just need to go into the enemy. I'm going to right click, and create an empty called bullet stand sheet height. Put the 0, 0, 0 for now. But for the sake of reference, I'm going to get the aiming idle, just so I know roughly where the instantiate point should go. I think it should be about here. I can always fix it later. Get rid of this. It's going to ask me for instantiate point. The bullet. And then in the main character, it's going to ask me for the geo, which is this geo here. The body. The body also has a mesh renderer. The material is this main character, so original material is the main character material, and the hit material is under the enemy's material folder, so this one here. So I think this should work. shoot him, he sees me. Maybe his instantiate point is not far out enough. I don't know. Enemy troop. Oh, I forgot. In the enemy troop, it only fires if his firing is true. It has to be his firing is set to true if I gotta think about this for a second. So if player is detected, he should only be shooting. He shouldn't be shooting if player is not detected. So if it's not detected, then is firing equals false. But if player is detected, he should be firing if he shouldn't be firing if he's greater than 10, which is the furthest. Actually, I'll make it all true. Let's get rid of this. I'll make the whole thing true. Is true if distance to player is greater or equal to, just say 20. Also, if it's greater than 20, then I'll set it to false. So I'm going to compile. I hit play. As soon as he sees me, why is he not firing? See if I missed anything. Enemy troop, the bullet instantiate point. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. Instead of putting, if it's a greater than 20, it should be false, but it should be smaller than 20 to make it true, but I have another greater than sign, so I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm also going to put this entire thing outside here, because I don't want it to be true only if in bounds is true. When he's out of bounds, he should be firing as well. So I'm going to delete all this. So this should be true no matter what, no matter where he is, just as long as he's within the 20 unit distance range. So I'm going to compile that, and I'm going to, yeah, I think this should work. So if I, over here, he sees me, then he's shooting, and my color is not changing though. Why is that? What happens if I crouch? The crouching doesn't change the angle, but my color is not changing. I've got to figure that out. So main character. All that's there. Oh, I know why. If the bullet hits the player, then it should be looking for the main character script. So it's looking for this script here, main character. Except it's not. If other. Maybe if I do an else if. Why is it not? Main character. What did I do wrong? Main character. Okay, I'm just going to create a different bullet. I'll probably just do that. I should have done that anyways, I guess. Okay, so I'm just going to go into projects. I'm going to go into my props folder. I'm going to copy and paste, call this one bullet enemy, so the bullet that comes from the enemy. I'm going to open this up. Has all the same properties, but the script, I'm going to copy and paste that as well. I'm going to rename this bullet enemy. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to change the public class name. So from from here, I need to remove this component, add my new script, and in the script, I'm going to change this to player, and this has to be main. Okay, it works like that for some reason. I don't know why. That doesn't work the other way. But I'm going to compile that. To go back to the enemy, and the bullet is bullet enemy, not the regular bullet. So I'm going to hit play and make sure that those bullets makes the main character's color flicker as he gets hit by bullets. So I'll run around. There we go. That's exactly what I want. Okay. That's good enough for now, but I would like him when he's shooting down. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to cut it off here. I think this is long enough, but hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll make those changes and I'll make another video later on. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do for this video, so thanks for watching.